Good afternoon. It is the afternoon. I always want to say like good morning or good afternoon. It is officially the afternoon where I am. It is 12:30 Eastern Standard Time here in New Hampshire. And welcome. I am so excited to be doing this with you today. I have not had the opportunity to present like this in a little bit. And nothing fires me up really like talking about my business and what it is that I do. I feel like there is a ton of misconception around network marketing, maybe Beachbody as a whole, what Team Beachbody coaches do. And I think it's probably one of my favorite things to like debunk myths and really just talk to people about what it is that I do as a coach. Because honestly, I think even sometimes when I have conversations with family members or close friends, they don't even really get what it is that I do. So I love to be able to come in and educate and share with you guys. And that is why we're here today. I am really going to try to keep this short and condensed. I have a tendency to like kind of yammer on, but if you're here and you're watching, please don't hesitate to say hi, hello, and ask any questions that you have. I love getting questions, any concerns you have about anything that we're going to go over today. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. I have my list of things that I want to cover and make sure to talk to you guys about. But again, if you have questions, let me know. If you're watching the replay, comment, and I will come back later and answer those questions for you. Super excited. Let's just start by kicking it off. My name is Megan Anderson, and I have been a Team Beachbody coach now for 8 years. In 2013, I signed up to be a coach. And wow, when I think about like the transformation that I've had, has nothing to do with the physical. Yes, I've lost 80 pounds on my journey with Beachbody and the programs, but my transformation really has happened between my ears and up here. And that to me has been the greatest gift in all of this. I just can't even imagine where I would still be if I was working in our company and where we had come from before I started coaching. And so kind of let me back up a little bit. I'm kind of an anomaly. I started using Beachbody programs at home in 1999. I started with VHS tapes. I was a busy entrepreneur even at the time, and my husband and I owned our own commercial audio and video company, and we serviced bars and restaurants and commercial businesses throughout New England. And so I was in charge of sales, he was in charge of service, and it worked. It was great. It was exciting. It was just the two of us back then. So of course life was exciting before you have children and you have the freedom to do what you like, but I still found myself really short on time. I knew I needed the fitness component in my life. I needed something to happen. I struggled to make it to the gym at night. I struggled to make it to classes on time. And when I did, it took like such a big chunk out of my time. By the time I changed my clothes, drove to the gym, got going there, and so on and so forth, that was like another extra hour, 2 hours out of my day just to get to and from the gym, and to classes and things that I didn't always make on time. So I knew I needed something consistent. And so I sought out something that would save me time from home. And so I knew that, I didn't really need that motivation. It was just something that I needed to be consistent with. Lo and behold, discovered Beachbody. And then I kind of just went from program to program. It just worked for me. It was like a no-brainer. I'm one of those people, just put the blinders on and focus and go and do. And I did. And it just worked for me. So I got up at the crack of dawn and did my thing and then went on with my busy work day. And then life started to happen and the years started to go on and we had kids. So having children was definitely my first experience being overweight and having a lot of weight to lose. Previous to that, I was just kind of like status quo. It was just something that was to kind of get me going, right? And so, and I always loved my programs. I will also I always think, meanwhile, I am loving my programs and I am loving my me time before my day starts. And I am daydreaming about how I can be the fitness instructor on the other side of those videos. But, I didn't have the time to go back to school. I didn't have the time to do all these things. And so it's so funny when I think about my story because it's like all happening at once. we're building our business. We're trying to grow that. I'm working. Kids came into the mix, but then there's this other like alter ego that I have in the morning when I'm by myself where I'm wishing for other things. And so we have 3 kids. Today they are 15, 13, and 10. Back then, when we first started having children, it was a lot, but the kids went right into daycare. To me, there was really no question about that. I think now I'm thinking about it. My mother-in-law watched our first one, but by the time number 2 came along, daycare was needed because she wasn't going to take on 2 toddlers, an infant and a toddler. Anyway, so, the years went on, and it got harder and harder, like priorities change, right? And what ended up happening was, I would still get up at the crack of dawn and do my thing. But now I had the extra layer of getting kids ready for daycare, getting myself ready for work. And then it was like a hurried whirlwind. You'd get all the things together in the diaper bag, get them off to daycare. I'd go do my appointments and do my day-to-day stuff. And then I'd race home back to the daycare to get them baths, dinner, bedtime. Like if any of you have been moms, are moms, and you know what that chaos at bedtime and did, like that whole whirlwind of night. And then by the time you're like done, you're like, and then you sit down on the couch and it's done and you're going to bed and you start it all over the next day, right? So that was life. And I felt like we were in this like perpetual cycle of what else is there? Is this all that there is? And yeah, we had our own business, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't something that like got me out of bed in the morning, right? I started to think about the stuff that I was missing with my kids and why do we have kids if they're in daycare all day, and just questioning the meaning of life. I think in retrospect, I was like coming on to getting to be 40 and going into my 40s, like going into that. I was like, what is the meaning of life? What are we doing here? There's just gotta be more. There's gotta be a bigger purpose. And so, I will say, so 2013, Ben was born in 2011, so he's my baby. So in 2013, a new program came out through Beachbody called Les Mills Combat. So they had the Les Mills brand for a number of years way back then. And I found myself, so this was before social media. This was before Instagram was not a thing. Facebook maybe was kind of a thing, but this was before all that. So Beachbody had what they called message boards in their back office, and you could go in and ask questions and get answers from the experts and all of that good stuff. So back in the day, they had that kind of a medium for us. And so I met my then coach there in the message boards, and she invited me to my first challenge group. And I was like, what's a challenge group? Like, so weird, right? And she's like, well, there are other women in a group on Facebook and they're all doing Les Mills Combat too. Would you like to join us? I'm like, wait, what? Like, I thought I was like the only weirdo in the world working out in my basement besides these 5 other guys in the message boards, right? That are doing P90X and insanity, right? And so I was like, hell yeah, I want to be in that. Like, there's other women like me doing the same stuff. Like, those are my people, right? So jumped into the group, like fell in love instantly because I was like, oh my gosh, community. Like, this is all the people that are like me. Because in the background, like my husband's not into fitness. I don't really have any friends that are into fitness. I was just doing my own thing and just doing my own thing and beating to my own drum at home in my basement, And so then I don't think it was very long. I always try to remember, like, I think it was maybe a month. And then I was asked about the coaching opportunity. And then I was again like, wait, what? Like, you can make money at this? What do I have to do again? And it was basically like, you love the programs already. You're already sharing what you do. So why wouldn't you want to run these groups and then earn some income by helping other people too? Yeah. And then it clicked because I'm like, I wanted to be the other person on, like, the fitness instructor, not necessarily the instructor, but I wanted to have that life of, being home with my children, being there when they got home from school, being able to, but also being that entrepreneur. That was a big thing for me. Like that, I grew up in an entrepreneurial environment. So the business was always something that really, really pulled me in. And when I found out and had to compare sort of like the business models to each other, I was like, wow, I'm totally in. Like, this is a smart business model. This is similar to what I'm doing now, but the pros and the cons, like, they were just insanely, it was just it sucked me in immediately. And so I talked to my husband, he's completely supportive. And I said, the money that we're sinking into daycare is going to be a wash, and compared to, what I could be making and doing with this. So lo and behold, I came home, stepped down as president of our company to pursue this full time. And the rest is history. No, I shouldn't say that, right? Beachbody has opened up so many doors for me. I did become a fitness instructor. I became certified in several live formats. So P90X, Insanity, Core to Force, Step Program, PIO, just to name a few, and then a few outside programs besides Beachbody formats. And I'm also a certified precision nutrition coach. So I've got that under my belt. And it's just, again, the transformation has been incredible. It has not only changed me physically, but mentally. My confidence has soared through the roof, being able to share this opportunity with people, but also to be able to step on stage, not once, but twice in a couple of amateur bikini competitions, all while using Beachbody programs at home too, which has been phenomenal. They did try to suck me in at the gym to go there. I might have showed up a few times for classes, but for the most part, I did my thing at home, followed the nutrition guidelines that my coach got me to get on stage, and that was that. So just an amazing, when I look back and think about all the things, that I have been able to do, I would not still be doing if I was running our business or trying to run our business and having that day-to-day lifestyle that was just sucking the life out of me at that point. Okay, so wanting to just, like I said, I want to make sure that this is clear and quick for you guys. I want you to have the opportunity to ask questions. I know that I talk fast, and I know that there's a lot of information that I want to get out. So make sure that if you have anything at all, that you chime in, ask any questions that you have. And I will be looking at my notes just to make sure that I stay on course for you guys. Like I said, I tend to blab a little bit. Okay, so being a coach typically is about three things. You are being a product of the product. You are sharing your journey on social media, and you're running these groups, those type things that I touched upon. So a big thing for me was that, when I first got started, I was absolutely in love with the programs and the products and the structure of that. And I just fell in love with the whole process. I love the fact that there's no guesswork, that you start a program from start to finish and you follow ABC calendar and the nutrition plan if you don't already have one, and you get results. And it's that simple. There's no guesswork. The experts have put in the time and effort to create these structured programs for us. So all you have to do is follow those. And now they're making it more easy for us to be in more love with the programs and the products, because it's not just the structured programs, but they have now added nutritional guidelines and tools. We have a huge line of supplements, including our signature product, Shakeology, but we have our all-natural performance line. We have things like collagen and greens. We've got beach bars now, and we've just added indoor cycling, live classes, and the Mix Bike. Beachbody went live this summer, and we partnered with Mix Fitness and Open Fit. And so that is bringing in and opening up a whole nother demographic of people to compete with Peloton and Moxie and all these different live platforms, in addition to having structured programs to follow. So it's almost like having the best of all the worlds in one. I, for one, am having so much fun taking the live classes with my personal trainers. These celebrity trainers, that was probably another big reason that sucked me in. My first live event, getting to go and work out in person with Sean T, Joel Jerko, all the people, Autumn. And so now being able to take live classes with them weekly has just also been a game changer. It's just another level of accountability and excitement and energy that you bring to your health and your fitness journey. So I am absolutely loving that. So product of the product. So that means you are doing a workout program every single day, having your superfood shakes, Shakeology, the nutrition, following the programs, getting a transformation. Your job is your journey. I always talk about your job is your journey. You are your number one journey in this. And then you're sharing your journey on social media, what it is that you're doing, and you're inspiring others to do the same thing. And then the other part of what we do is we host these online groups. So you really can call them whatever you like. They've coined the phrase challenge groups, but it really could be like your fit gym, your boot camp, your wellness studio. The really awesome piece about being a Beachbody coach is that you're not Beachbody. It's highly encouraged and, absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? not just encouraged, but it's almost required of you to be your own brand. You're not Shakeology, you're not Beachbody, you are you, and only you can be you. And that's going to be what sets you apart, right? So this is your own business, and you're essentially partnered with Beachbody, using those tools and those products to help people lead healthier and fulfilling lives. So it's just a tool in your tool bag, and you're partnering with Beachbody in that way. But these groups are really amazing. There are online communities, again, can be structured and run however you like. Some people run 30-day groups. Some people run groups according to their program. So if you have a 6-week program, you're on a 6-week group. Some people will do, month to month. Someone will have a just general community where they just change it up every single month. And then you dictate who comes in and why, and what, why they have to join your groups, and it really is your own thing. So that is awesome. And you're just in there, on a regular basis, inspiring and motivating and doing your thing too. And I think that's the biggest piece about what we do that's so cool, is that I'm linking arms with my clients. So even though I am still a successful Beachbody coach and have my own team of leaders, I am still doing the programs with my clients as I was doing on day one. I am still the one that geeks out at the new programs that launch, at the new groups that launch. I get excited every single month when I close a new group and we start the next one. Like, that is still me. I am still geeking out over all the things. And so I mentioned a little bit about the partnership. So, for those of you that might not know who Beachbody is, they started a long time ago in the infomercial world. They were on late night TV with, P90X, 21 Day Fix, Insanity, things like that. And pretty much since inception, they create new programs about four times a year. So every quarter there's a new program that launches. And this was a really big year for Beachbody. I mentioned that this summer we went public. So Beachbody combined businesses with Mixed Fitness and Open Fit. And now we have the ability to offer indoor cycling, and we have just launched this last week our new Mixed Bike Plus, which you might have seen in your feed or what have you, and then the live class component that goes with that. So that is really, really, really super exciting. We're also getting ready to open up more globally. We have right now, we can service United States, Canada, UK, and France, Puerto Rico, and we are all continuing to open up more globally around the world. The other component to going to merging with Mixed Fitness and going public was the opportunity to be able to have more cash flow to grow the network, to grow and help the coaches and the coach network grow, to be able to globally expand. We are very blessed to have the former CEO of TikTok on our board. So he's helping us in so many different ways on that level. And he was also a founder of Disney Plus. And so, my mind immediately is going to hello, we're going to be in every household in the world, like Netflix is, in the next few years. So that is a pretty exciting prospect to think about, us being in every single home around the world. And I think the other big part of that too, I feel like this last year was super crazy, right? It was a super crazy year for everybody. So much was unknown, but so many good things came from last year too, especially when it comes to talking about your health, your fitness, and the things that you have the ability to do from home or virtually. So a lot of people had to shift gears and pivot and offer different things to be able to accommodate that. Well, Beachbody was here the whole time, continuing to offer those kinds of services, and now have been able to implement even more. A lot of fitness companies and instructors and gyms, faced lockdowns and closures and things like that. And our team actually grew 300% over this last year, and we climbed to number one in the entire network. So it's really, really an exciting time to be a part of the number one team. You get some really awesome perks and training, and the best of the best comes from corporate and the team, and the most successful coaches in the company, which makes it really, really exciting. So my team is made up of moms and working women. And we all share that common thread of wanting more, feeling that purpose-driven life, that you want something more value, want to feel more fulfilled. And we also believe that there is just more to having that typical 9 to 5, right? Network marketing is definitely a different animal, and it's not for everyone. Our business is on social media, and that's how we look and talk and build relationships with people. And I talk to people about that all the time. It's not a sales business, it's a relationship building business. And so that's what we're looking for. Are there people that want to grow that same purposeful, meaningful life by building relationships with other women who are like us and growing our team even more? And I think the other part of that too is, again, learning from last year, being able to control the controllable. We believe that there is so much more than just having, punching a clock and doing the work and going home. Like the idea to, lead that impactful life, being able to control our future, our finances, our health, and being able to do that for ourselves and help others do that at the same time. I honestly feel like that there is no greater gift than the opportunity and the career that I have chosen, that I have the opportunity to help others get healthy, but also myself, right? Like my job is my journey. My number one purpose in my day is myself, working on my mindset, working on my health, working on my nutrition, my fitness. Those things are what make me successful as a coach, as a mom, as a wife, as a sister, as a leader. And I think too, like, without sounding too corny about like drinking in the Kool-Aid, but the leaders on my team feel the same, right? They fall in love with the purpose, the process, and all the things, and they love it so much that they start to spread the light to somebody else. And then we have more people that come in and join our groups. They fall in love with the process. They see their health, they see success, and then they start to help other people, right? So that's truly when we start to grow and really build. But I'll get into that in a second, okay? So wanting to share, and make sure you guys drop any questions that you have below. I want to share with you guys a little bit about some of the misconceptions, right? And fears. Like, I know, like, I had so many fears when I first started, the biggest thing for me was, for so long, I had been in business, as I mentioned before, that I was in sales, and a lot of what I was doing was like knocking on doors and making phone calls. So having a business on social media was like completely foreign to me. Like I said, there was no Instagram. Facebook was just kind of starting to emerge. But being able to learn how to build relationships and talk to people on social media was a huge learning curve for me. And also to share, right? Like being able to share in the right way and have it be meaningful, and building a brand for myself. It took time, and I won't lie, I'm still work in progress and still working on it every single day. But wanting you to know that those fears, you can rest assured, because we have a bunch of trainings that are in place. So mentioned the top 10 team. Our upline coach is also a huge social media guru, and is all over, different mediums, YouTube, and so on and so forth. And so she teaches us everything that we need to know in order to be successful and have a successful social media. So everything that I have learned in order to be where I am today on social media and as a leader and a coach are all things that I learned as a part of my training process. When I first started, I did not know anything about fitness besides the experiences that I had gone through. So basically, I knew what worked for me, right? And I loved the programs, but my passion and my love for all of that stuff has catapulted me to the next place. I'm always a person that believes in next level learning, next level living. So I'm always encouraging not just my challengers and my clients, but my team to learn, and myself to learn how to go to the next level, and always learning to get better. And so trainings and, different things that I have learned and gone certifications through in the past has really what has opened all of those doors for me. But I didn't know anything when I first started, and I will always say too, is initially when people start the first thing, they feel like they have to know everything before they can start. And I still don't know everything. Like, I'm still learning every single day, but it's just so exciting to do and to be and to just immerse yourself in it that I don't mind figuring it out as I go along the way. Another thing that I hear super often from new leaders that start are they feel like they have to be at their goal weight before they can coach others. Like, if they can't help themselves yet, how are they supposed to help other people? And I can totally get that. And I totally can wrap my head around that meaning. But I also feel like you are at your most relatable point of your journey when you first start. And I think the most inspiring thing ever is when you can invite people to join you. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm not where I want to be right now, but this is what I'm doing about it. Do you want to do this with me? Or let's do this together, and we're, accountability success partners. I think that there's something more to that than anything else. A few years ago, I had somebody approach me and say, I love your videos and I love what you represent, but I can't work with you because I don't feel like you can relate to me. This person was extremely overweight. And, it was almost like I could understand what they meant, but I also lost weight. Like, I had weight to lose. Like, I do understand what those struggles were, but she just felt like she couldn't relate to me, that she needed to work with an overweight coach in order to be understood. So, there's that analogy as well. Talk to you about social media. So again, this kind of goes back all to the training. Instagram wasn't even invented yet. And Facebook was like so little. I think I had a couple hundred friends. So between all the trainings and things that I have done over the years, I have been able to grow my Facebook business page to over 11,000. And I've got like 3,000 or 4,000, 3,000 maybe on regular Facebook. And then my Instagram is slowly growing, but I am working on it. I am still a work in progress, just like everybody else, right? And so let's see. Let's make sure I get it. Oh, I know. I always get asked, how much time does this take? So essentially, most people start off, when they start coaching, they don't typically dive in like I did full time, right? I'm an anomaly, as I mentioned. And so most people that start coaching start as a part-time coach, and then they'll eventually transition to a full-time coach or a full-time career, right? And so what we typically train on are working in pockets of your day. And so, essentially you can work this business, takes a couple of hours a day. It really depends on how fast or slow you want to move, what your goals are. And we work on those things together one-on-one before you get started. So I can give you an indication of the kinds of things that you need to do, the faster, the slower that you need to go. But the really great thing is, and because when I first started this business too, remember, I said I was a stay-at-home mom for my very first time. So that was a learning curve in itself. So I would get up in the morning and do my workout and do a little bit of the work for the business. And then, the kids were at my feet all day long. I had my laptop set up at my kitchen counter, and I would message people, kind of on the fly. I would work when they had naps, and then I would work again at night when my husband came home and he was around to help me out. So little pockets of time. The really great thing is we have amazing coach kit that we put, a business toolkit that we give you when you put together. It has actually a checklist that you go through, a checklist for your training. You know what tasks to be doing every single day. And I love that because, like, I don't know about you, but I tend to have that like squirrel mentality where I'm going. And then a kid is like, hey, can I have a snack? And you're like, you go and have the snack with the kid and you come back and you're like, where was I? So if you have the list to work off of, and I check my boxes when I'm done, I'll tell them, hold on, I am going to check this box and then I'll be right with you. And then when I come back, I look at my list and I can see where I left off. And so, and then typically, I'm not going to bed until the boxes are all checked and it's good. So you stay focused that way too, right? And I got a lot of really great tips and tools for time management as well. So let's see, I think that was kind of it. I think the thing that I want to impress upon you the most with all of this is it's not a get rich quick anything. The people that, or the women that we work with are women that can see the future and the investment in their future. So being here, knowing that it's going to take a couple of years for you to build your business, build that foundation. Again, you can move as quickly or as slow as you need to be depending on your goals, but you have to know that just like with your health and your fitness, it's not going to happen overnight. What we do focus on are the consistent daily actions that get you to your goals. So, it's kind of one of those things where you have to practice and continue to do the work on the business every single day, just like with your health and your fitness in order to build. It takes time. It's not hard work. It just takes some consistency and time, right? And working at every single day to build. Okay, so transitioning into earning income, what that looks like. So traditionally, we have a structure of 25% commission. So you have your initial investment of your package, which includes your business toolkit. It's also going to give you an annual subscription to our on-demand streaming workout service. You'll get access to that for a full year, plus access to the live classes for 30 days. Then after 30 days, it is a monthly subscription. Since this is all brand new, they're coming out with new pricing like next couple weeks. So some of the stuff you'll be able to pick and choose like as they unroll it. The live class is still in beta version right now. So they're working out the glitches, and I think it's supposed to all go live by the end of October. So we still have a few weeks on that stuff. But at any rate, you would get your subscription to your programs, annual subscription, and your body subscription, which is the live classes, your nutrition tools, and you get 30 days of Shakeology and or the performance line. So you have your choice. Typically, I recommend when you're getting started that you have the superfoods, Shakeology, and the performance if you can swing it. I just can't live without my pre and my post workout, so that's why I always say that. If you follow me on my stories, you're going to see that often. And then you have a choice of either or both. Like I said, your initial investment starts at $160 for all of that stuff. With that, I mentioned you get your business toolkit. You also get access to corporate trainings. We have team trainings. And your first goal that we work together is to make your investment back. So we work at, helping 3 people in the first month, and you'll make your investment back and make a little bit of income. I always like to tell people, just because I have the background in business, I love comparing it to the fact when you make this investment, of $160, it's the only business I know that you can turn a profit within 24 hours. Like if you compare that to like say a franchise or a box store, those people are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into a franchise, and they cannot be their own boss. They have corporate guidelines to adhere to, right? They have monthly fees that they pay that are in the hundreds. We do also have our monthly business fee, but it's $15.95. So you have your 25% commission, and then you have that monthly fee, and then whatever consumables you have after that. So Shakeology, the performance, you just pay for as you need that going forward. Okay. When I started my brick and mortar business, we had $100,000 investment that we put into our building. We had rent, we had utilities, we had inventory, overhead, employees, insurance, trucks, maintenance on the trucks, like you name it, like all of these things. The company that I mentioned was a commercial AV company. We also were a service-based business. So we had that monthly subscription that we charged our customers to use our music services, our television services, and our tech services and things of that nature. So I love that aspect of our business, of the passive income, which is another big attractor to our business and what it is that we do as coaches. So you get that 25% commission I mentioned on anything that you sell, product, apparel, the programs, things of that nature. And then every time someone continues to consume them, you get that commission over and over and over. So let's just say, for example, you sold 3 Shakeologies this month. This is October, right? You'd get an average about $30, so 30, 60, 90 in October, right? And then let's say in November they kept their service, they kept Shakeology, so you get another 30, 60, 90, and then you sold 3 more. That's another 30, 60, 90. Right there, you've made 180 in just the commission, because you also make a bonus when you sell packages and things like that too. So we'll get into all that, and then let's just say in December they do it again, 30, 60, 90, they keep it, and then you sell 3 more. So you've got 90, 90, 90, right? You see how the compound effect, and they start to add up. So as you start to accumulate, and that's only 3 people, that's just my example of 3 people, right? So you think about that compound effect and how it can add up. So having that, you don't have to worry about all those things. Like I mentioned, rent, utilities, overhead, inventory, all those things. The person orders their product and it gets shipped right to them. That you have, you're not the middleman. You're not having to worry about any of that stuff. And so your monthly business fee covers your websites, the platform, the groups that we run our platform on. So we have an exclusive tracking app that we use, that you are able to share with your clients and tell them the exclusivity of that. They can track their water, they can track their food, they can log their workouts. And then you have your group community is on there as well, which is really exciting. And they're constantly updating it. So similar to Facebook groups, but just a little bit different in that. And it's Beachbody proprietary. So, and yeah. Okay, do you guys have any questions yet? Just want to make sure I covered it all. So 160 is your initial investment it gives you your business toolkit, all the things, your monthly fee, $15.95. And you can make yourself your profit in 24 hours. I said that. Okay. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. I don't know if you have any other questions, make sure you guys drop them. The thing that I want to impress upon is that this is not for everybody. And I totally get that. And I think that this is, but this is an amazing experience for the right individual. I mentioned that our team is made up of really big dreamers, goal diggers, looking for the next thing and purpose in their life. They take this vehicle and share their gifts with others and literally change lives, the people that we help, and the impact that we make. I think that that's probably the biggest draw for me, is the purpose. And when I first started, I was geeked out over the fitness part of things and how much I loved the programs and what they did for me personally. But I was after the freedom of time. I was after the freedom with my family to be able to set my own schedule and set my own rules and come and go as I want to, as I see fit with my children, as the seasons of life. It's so fun. I used to beg for school to be starting. And now I am working my business full time while the kids are in school and doing their teenager life stuff, so it's like a completely different animal for me today. But today, my greatest passion is seeing my leaders reach their goals and being able to help them find their purpose and achieve their financial freedom. And it's just so exciting to be able to celebrate that all together and look at what we've created together and the kind of impact that we can make. People that message me all the time about, either a weight loss goal or how their outlook has changed or how they feel better and they're off their medicines. And then you have leaders that talk about the amazing houses that they're building. They never thought that they would get out of debt. There's story after story after story. And so that's now where my heart pulls me to help other women with the gifts and the goals that they are driving after. And so if you think that, any of this resonated with you, if you think this could be something more, I would love to set up a one-on-one call for you. So I think that in the comments below, there should be a link. If not, you can totally just email me or message me. And I will make sure that the form goes. I think that I put a form in there before I got started. And let's set up a one-on-one call, because I would love to really just dive into your needs and goals. and learn a little bit more about you and talk to you specifically about your individual needs and what this could look like for you. From there, once you get started with us, we set up a Getting Started Right call, and we talk about your goals and your dreams and your vision for this business and for your life, and what that looks like for you. We talk about, how fast or slow you want to move, the kind of impact that you want to make, the kind of success that you want to have. I plug you into the team pages that we have. I have a message pod for different levels in our business, and then I have a team page where the trainings reside. You have access to our Team University, which has that toolkit and the checklist and all the things we talked about. It gets you started from square one to all the way up to big business builders and advanced trainings as you move along. We talk about your number one goal being making back your investment, helping 3 people in your first month. You'll plug into your very first challenge group, which it's actually started this week, but it's for our October. It's called Fired Up in October. And I'm actually also doing a challenge within that. Some of the girls talked about doing something similar to a 75 hard challenge, but we're going to be calling it the last 90 days, and we are going to finish this year strong. So I've got you can have access to that as well. My October mentorship for my coaches starts on the 4th. So that week we'll get started. Like I said, going into the university training, getting you set up on a Getting Started Right call. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to set up a one-on-one with you to discuss this further, to see if you have questions about anything else or something specific to you. It was such a pleasure to be here today. I am so excited to be back doing these. I'm going to be able to come back in and do a couple of months, and then I've got some other business insight stuff that I'm going to be doing on Instagram. So if you're following me over there, make sure you stay tuned. You can look for me on there on every Tuesday doing something with my other teammates. So I'm excited about that too. Okay, guys, it was an awesome time hanging out with you. If you have other questions, drop them below, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.